3 shifts, right?
Well,
Or
we're 24/7.
is it already, there's always a supervisor there?
No.
No,
That's why we've asked for 2 more
That's
in
why.
the next
in the
budget.
next budget.
All right,
So then we would have someone on 24/7 as a supervisor with our dispatchers.
so what time of day or where is the supervisor not there currently?
Currently, right now, our
Yeah.
schedules kind of vary, but
Because it's on,
right,
Yeah.
so there's 12 hours a day that they're not there.
okay. And
Yeah.
this will get worse by this person leaving,
Oh, definitely.
right, obviously.
Yeah, because then they'll only be 12 hours a day on part of the week. So,
Any other questions?
Nope.
All in favor?
We did.
We-
We need a motion.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought,
I'll move to approve to post the supervisor position for communications.
Second,
moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
yes,
Aye. 3-0 in favor.
the next item I'll let Carrie present.
So we have a reserve dispatcher pay rate that was put in place back in 22, and that was $30 an hour. At that point in time, we were looking at what the highest pay rate of our unionized employees was making, and the $30 an hour was very much in line with that pay scale then. Since then, we've had contract increases, several years have passed, and we're now out of market with that pay rate. So I'd like to propose that we increase that amount to $40 an hour. And then every year we look at what the union contract is and make an adjustment so that we're scaling it up as the rates change for cost of living.
just for cost of living, not for market adjustments or,
Well,
you know.
whatever the union rate
we'll
is
figure
negotiated.
That would handle the market.
Yeah.
But wouldn't that actually reflect the cost of living as well? In your union contract?
Mhm.
Yeah. So,
The contract has a pay scale,
right,
and we would be using that scale
Yeah.
to set the rate. So that it would be very much in line with what our full-time employees were earning.
and the reserve isn't covered by the union contract.
Not covered by the union, and it does not receive benefits.
Hmm.
And they are not guaranteed hours, but they can have the flexibility of picking up when they're available.
And you still find people for that.
We currently have 2 reserves and they are wonderful. They pick up time all the time. And they help to fill in, especially if somebody happens to need vacation or desire vacation or have to have a sick day or whatever. They are very, very helpful and are keeping up on all of their trainings and certifications in order to be able to be on desk, which is ongoing every month.
So are they picking up like a couple a week, a couple a month?
Currently we have 1, their minimum that they can pick up and still be considered active is 2 shifts a month. We have 1 right now that's anywhere from 23 to 38 hours a week. Like, it just depends on where the need is and what their availability is. And another one is right around probably 15 to 20 hours a week, some weeks a little bit more.
Gotcha.
They're definitely filling a gap and definitely assisting. Great.
How far in advance do they know their work schedule? I mean, so,
They can pick up, we use a software program that shows where the openings and availabilities are, and where we haven't been fully staffed for many years now. They can also just pick up to come in and be that 3rd person anytime when they may have availability. So
it's good to have somebody with flexibility like that.
definitely,
to
Yeah.
fit in.
definitely.
It helps keep our overtime for 4-cent shifts lower than it would have been without.
Even, and it's still economical doing that even with an increase. of
Absolutely,
the-
because you're not
pay-
paying benefits for the
Right,
position.
okay. And we're not paying benefits because it's more of a part-time,
It's not guaranteed hours.
it's not guaranteed.
It's when we have time available, when they have time available. It's a very flexible, fluid position,
Okay,
but very beneficial for us.
I'll move to approve the reserve dispatcher rate adjustment request to $40.
I would second that.
Moved and seconded. Any other comments, questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, 3-0 in favor. Do you have anything else?
Is that?
Nothing else. All
Okay.
right,
Thank
thank
you.
you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Next item,
So our
resignation.
So Kent was planning to come down, but he has court first thing this morning, so he's planning to come around 10. And I let him know that I would ask you if you could postpone him on the agenda until later on.
Let's move it right along.
Probate. I
Catherine,
thought she was out, Catherine was outside.
Catherine,
No, do you want me to go grab her?
could you please?
Okay, I'll.
Thank you. That was quick.
Wow. See you run again. We don't get to see Catherine enough.
I'm gonna put that on the table. Okay. Okay,
Is she coming?
they went to get Catherine.
Catalyst Software, the same company that does website hosting, you know?
I don't know.
Is their logo green?
Looks like arrows.
Maybe. Maybe. Yeah, chevrons.
Out of Georgia.
Maybe that wouldn't mean anything. I don't know. I only know that, yeah, Catalyst is a website. provider.
Catalyst bought out Icon a couple years back,
Mhm.
and now they host the probate software.
Gotcha. How often do we look at IQS? Are we on a long-term agreement with them?
Didn't we just?
3 years?
I thought,
Did we?
I thought we did, not too long ago.
Yeah, we went out to bid
Can we,
about 8 years ago.
Mhm.
is there someone else that if, with Catherine's gonna be here shortly or?
She should be, she was down the hall. Do you want to have Emily go first?
Well, why don't we get him?
Or whoever's here. No,
As soon as Emily sits down, Catherine will come.
of
through the
course.
door.
Yeah.
We're gonna have you butt ahead.
That's fine. If Catherine shows up, I'll save my other thing, but we'll do that.
Weird.
Yeah.
Take my note off. And do you want to start?
Too bad.
It's your plan, my friend.
It's our plan.
So, I guess we're gonna go backwards on the agenda today, but we're here today to talk about or to present to you the 2026 Hazard Mitigation Plan Update draft that has been released and is open for public comment until the 10th of October. It's in this nice big binder that Emily has put together. There's a lot of
Or it-
helpful-
In loose papers, as my version is.
So you can look at the online version.
I've got
too.
extra binders that.
I can't write on my screen though with my.
So this is available on both Lincoln County's website, our website, the Lincoln County EMA website, and the Lincoln County Regional Planning Commission's website. And it's open for public comment for everyone to view, comment. There's 300 something pages. In the last 5 years since this update, we've had a lot of different sorts of weather, different sorts of natural hazards occur in Lincoln County. So this is, we were able to build this basis of the plan based on what has happened in the last 5 years and what's to come for the forthcoming years. So we got a lot of good buy-in from our towns. We hosted local EMA directors meetings monthly, opposed to bi-monthly, to be able to get input from towns, from select boards, and from public works, fire departments, anyone who is wanting to put input into this plan. We were opening up the room and the opportunity to be able to do so. So if you guys would like to take a look at it.
So this is the plan for the whole county, but is still adopted by the individual municipalities
Yeah.
as well.
So we put together a plan for the entire county. However, it's town driven. So there's a lot of town input on where their problem areas are. And this opens up, if they sign on to this plan, this opens up grant opportunities for them to be able to help with those mitigation projects that they have already in line, or to visualize those affected areas and be able to get funds to maybe make them not an affected area or constant area that they're repairing every time it floods or the rain comes. So
So you anticipate going to each one of the towns and getting them to
Yep.
adopt it?
once public comment period closes, Emily's gonna take the 5 days to kind of finish up, take comments. We still have some towns still providing some data. And that will go to MEMA, so Maine Emergency Management Agency, for their approval at the federal level. And then once we get all of that back, we go to each individual town for them to adopt the plan and sign off on their projects.
And you'd like to have this completed by what time?
We're looking for early December. A couple of additional projects have come up and places that are needing to have this done before the beginning of December. So once we had a meeting with MEMA a couple weeks ago, they are prioritizing our plan to have this done and finalized by the end of November, so that we can quickly get to the towns that are needing to have an adoption before, I think it's the first 2 weeks of December.
Good.
So how are are you getting responses? I know I got hit by Newcastle, sent something out, and your agency sent some stuff out. So are people responding? I know I haven't yet, but.
We also sent it out to stakeholders, so those like the National Weather Service, Central Maine Power, Maine Forestry Service, and they have been responding with comments. We also have created a public comment form. We have not yet gotten any responses through that, but we have been getting some emails, direct emails. So you'll see this orange folder in here has all the public comments that we will then go through and incorporate into the draft plan.
Does the more engagement help get the plan passed as it goes up, or?
Yes,
Yeah.
we do have to prove that there was engagement, and there has been throughout this process. As Emily talked about with the EMA meetings, we've had put it out. There was a survey that was part of this as well, that was sent out to our mailing list, put on our social media pages. We sent it to our board members. So they've been engaged since the beginning, if anyone has interest. And so we have to document all of that, which is kind of the first section of the plan, is all that documentation.
And you mentioned getting to the federal level. Is there going to be anybody in the agency to look at the plan or do anything?
We've asked that question. We have not gotten a response yet.
And it may be very
Oh, still
difficult
open.
to answer, yeah. By the time it gets there, who knows? what-
Mhm.
Yeah.
But that would delay the towns adopting them later, or?
Yeah, so it has to be what's called approved pending adoption for us to then go to the municipalities to adopt the plan. And then we submit those adoption letters to FEMA. And then it will be considered approved once all municipalities have signed on to it with the adoption letter.
So for the record, we ought to have a motion to recognize the presentation, the first presentation of this. So I would recognize our motion to do that.
Move to accept the draft presentation of the Lincoln County Hazard Mitigation Plan.
Second.
Moved and seconded. So this is just for the record
Sure.
that this is, we move on from here.
Yes.
And forward. Just on
So I would,
forward.
yes.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 3-0 in favor.
Are there any towns that were? How do I say it?
Need encouragement to participate?
No, no.
That's what I was thinking.
Is that usually my thing? No, I was gonna ask if there was anybody that was keeping up with this independently, that they were doing well without us being involved.
There's one town that even before we started this update, sent me all of their updates. And they
Mhm.
were like, we go through this every once in a while, and here's our updates, here's where we're at. And so it made it easy by the time we were ready to update projects, because their list was already updated and we didn't have to do anything. So there are towns that do utilize this. There are towns that focus on these lists regularly to apply for hazard mitigation funding. There are quite a few towns in Lincoln County that always apply for hazard mitigation plan funding and receive it because they're signed on to this plan.
Good.
Mhm.
Does the towns belong to that would help the private landowners who are on the coast that need or apply to SBA grants or loans for mitigation stuff? Would that help, or is it totally different?
I think it's different because we're talking private versus municipal based hazard mitigation funds. Sometimes towns do also have it's called public assistance, and through SBA, those kinds of loans to help with hazard mitigations, but it's not necessarily through the same funding source. It's hazard mitigation because the problem occurred due to the storm, versus we're well aware that this is a continuing problem and that this needs to be fixed. Is that?
I think that helps, and
Okay.
I'm assumed that it put aside the benefits that you would get from FEMA or whatever, is to have a plan in place is better than not having a plan in place of how to deal with any of the situations that come this way. Yeah. Interesting. There's a lot of reading there, it looks like. It's pretty thick, so
There's
Yeah, and the October 10th deadline isn't a lot of time to get through it all.
no, in October 10th.
It's next Friday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
A lot of the
Or is it
information
Friday?
this week, yeah.
in here are charts, but there's also some other projects that have been going on throughout the state of Maine, the resiliency projects. And also we did a social resilience study within the last 5 years. So that material is also included in this plan.
Yeah, the
So,
appendix is what adds a lot
yeah.
of bulk to this
Yeah.
binder. So the actual plan itself is about 120 pages. We tried to break it up. So planning was involved in the last update as well. And we've built our skill set in terms of making it look a little bit easier to read. So it's not just text upon text like it was in the 2021 plan. So it also breaks up with some photos and other things.
I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Makes it easy.
So because it is a plan, it makes sense to have planning there and then you have EMA there, so
A lot of
how's it worked, with the two departments?
we're
Oh.
very, very fortunate to have planning to be able to work on this plan with us. They get a lot of the data that we also utilize. A lot of other EMAs in the state of Maine actually contract out to complete this plan because they don't have the means or the resources to do it in-house. We are, again, very, very fortunate to have these people here that continuously do this on a year-round basis and have the data. We were able to complete this within, I don't know, 9 months,
Yeah.
I would say, since we've officially kicked off, versus again, other EMAs that it takes 1.5 years to almost 2 years for them to fully complete this and have an adoption because of their contracting with others that are contracting with other counties in the state of Maine at the same time. So again, very, very fortunate. Lincoln County gets used kind of as that poster child by the time we're done with this because of our methods and the way that we've been able to focus or get through this plan. you know, effectively and efficiently and have all of our towns sign off on the plan as well, so.
Well, that's good. And Emily agrees with you that you're fortunate.
Well, I haven't heard that yet. I mean, she's supposed to throw it back, right?
Well, I'll add on that, when we did this in 2021, NEMA has been telling other, county agencies to work with planning organizations because it's a more holistic approach to doing this. We're working with towns to now, have been for some time, to implement the last plan because we know what's in it because we helped write it. So we know when grants come up, we sit there as that matchmaker going, oh, this was listed for this town and it's going to be a good fit. And now we've kind of flipped that a little bit with writing this and working with the towns to say, oh, do you remember we wrote that grant for you? You didn't get it. You're going to want to put that project in here. Don't forget about that one. So it's a nice opportunity to take, you know, the knowledge and the experiences that EMA has in terms of filtering in the risk assessment, past storm events. The EMAs were great with adding a lot of local EMAs were fantastic in adding a lot of information. And then we worked hand in hand amongst our staff to put this together so that it is a comprehensive plan for each municipality as well as the county overall.
With more pictures and less text.
Yeah,
Right.
text is still the same, although the page count is very similar to the 2021 plan.
Well, thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Emily.
And I appreciate the departments working together on this. This is super.
Emily, were you going to say something regarding the water and sewer feasibility?
That'll be the next thing, although do you want me to come back because Catherine's here?
Still,
Is Catherine still in the hallway or
I
did
haven't
she?
seen her overhead yet.
she was out in the hallway.
Do you want me to go check?
Maybe she gave out.
I'll go peek.
Okay. Thank
She
you.
is-
Really.
I'll come back.
Do you want me to do this for them or do you want?
Keep standing
No,
on
I'm
posters
stealing
and
that.
not milk cartons. That's what we like to do.
They still do that?
Somewhere they do. On this area code.
Good morning.
Good morning, Catherine. Good morning.
How was everyone this morning?
Super.
Andy.
Good. Good. So I'm here this morning, to ask or, sign our software, computer program agreement for 3 years with Catalyst. We're just finishing up a 5-year, contract with them and they've offered us a 3-year at a very reasonable price, for our software for a probate, program for not only our office, but the users, that have to e-file, documents and stuff into probate.
So is it just the electronic filing or is it the whole thing that you see when you go to mainprobate.net? Is that's what's behind it, is their software?
Yep, it's the whole thing. It's what the public can go on and access as well as the users filing documents as well as us in the office importing documents.
So this is a system where the probate information is like a court document that's out there for the public's review. And then it's also a piece where the attorneys can file for a state, to open estates.
Mhm.
And how long have, you said you're coming off a 5-year contract?
Correct.
But haven't they been involved longer than that?
So actually, Icon, they were formerly known as Icon, they're now Catalyst, came to the state of Maine, to the probate courts in 2006. Lincoln County joined in 2008. They did a program where some of the counties started and then, so they've been actually very good company to work with as far as software. User friendly, not only to the staff that using the program, but attorneys and whoever is e-filing, and for what they offer, we're getting a pretty good deal for.
Do they offer you training too? Do they train the trainers? If you
Yep,
will?
they do. We do have training, and actually, one of the things where I'm president of the Register Association, we in our group, we have what we call a tech committee. And we're actually
in the process of, sent out an email of where registrars would like to have training on things, and we're putting that list together to, have a Zoom, meeting with Catalyst for training, or there are more members in our organization who are more computer savvy and know the ins and outs that are be willing to do the training as well. So
So this is a complete program.
this is a complete program, correct?
Price tag?
So, the 2026, $1,992.80. 2027, $2,112.37. And 2028, $2,239.11. So keep in mind, they not only do all of this, but all of our records that we are back scanning and stuff, they are hosting this on their website or on their cloud. And we've only got about 90 years left of records to get onto mainprobate.net, thanks to Tony Lorem, the deputy. So
And they'll give you as much space on their servers as
Absolutely.
needed. to-
absolutely. So we're about 90 years from 1760. So,
Cool.
mhm,
I'm sure they're looking for them daily.
Right.
yes.
So I move that we approve the software contract renewal for the probate software.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, 3-0 in favor.
Thank you.
Can I have permission to sign on your behalf?
Yes.
You want it formally?
Yes, please.
Move to authorize the county administrator to execute Catalyst software contract renewal.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye,
Aye.
2-0 in favor.
Get you a sign today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good to see you this quarter.
Good to see you too.
Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa.
You got important things to do down there.
I do. Practically.
We already said, where's Catherine? Where's Catherine? Is she in the hall? Where's Catherine?
Thank you.
Welcome, thank you. Emily's back.
Just the one this time.
Yeah, not squared.
Yeah, that's gonna offset the others.
So the other reason I'm here today is we put out, with your blessing, a request for proposal for engineering services for a water and sewer feasibility study. This is mostly to be funded through a grant we received from the Department of Economic and Community Development's Housing Opportunities Program. We applied back in January for it. We found out that we were awarded over the summer, and now we're working to implement that grant. It's another step in terms of implementing the strategies from our housing study that was released back in 2023, as well as takes another step forward with the site inventory that we released back in May of this year. So what we're looking for is to engage an engineer to look at sites that 8 sites that we have identified, working with towns that would have strong possibility for housing development. And we put out the RFP. We received one response back from Fuss and O'Neill, which I think is in your meeting packet. We've read through it as a staff. We've called their references, which have all been highly encouraging to hear from, that they've been working with Fuss and O'Neill for a long time, and their projects have gone really, really smoothly and done efficiently and within the scope of services. So I am in front of you today to ask that we accept the RFP and approve it and move forward with engaging with Fuss and O'Neill on this project. Yeah, I got that.
Could we have a motion at this point?
Move to approve the Lincoln County Water and Sewer Feasibilities and Funding Strategy, except Fuss and O'Neill's RFP response.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Okay, down, discussion, comment, question.
Emily, sort of what are the questions that they're going to answer? Saying, yes, you can put something here, no, you can't, or you can, here's the cost and the challenges of that.
So
Or what, yeah, what's the end?
sure. So what we're looking to do is again, lower the barrier for possible developers in terms of their due diligence. So instead of a developer who's interested in one property, looking at that specific site and hiring an engineer, we're kind of doing this at a larger scale through this grant funding. And so what we are anticipating in terms of the outcomes of this project is a report that is going to tell you how far you need to run the line, what size line you would need to run, the approximate cost for connecting sewer and water, how that may change the density on the site for how many units you can get, as well as a funding strategy on how it could potentially be paid for that infrastructure extension.
And they will be working, obviously, they must with the different water districts or whatever.
Yes, yep.
To sort of determine capability, capacity.
Exactly. And that's part of our staff role. So as part of this, we built into the grant project staff time to assist with that outreach and engagement with both the municipalities and the sewer and water districts on this project.
And did I hear you say that they are looking specifically at those in the inventory that said there's no water sewer public hookups?
Yes, so we sent out at the beginning of August, I believe it was, a letter of interest to municipalities to say, do you have properties either identified in our site inventory, or do you have something that might be town owned that you've had conversations with at a municipal level? And we asked municipalities to submit letters of interest for us to then choose from. And so we, as a staff, along with Carrie, sat and reviewed all of those submittals. And we picked kind of a first choice and a second choice site for each of those 4 municipalities that submitted back letters of interest. And this project will cover the first and second choice priorities for each of the 4 municipalities. So a total of 8 sites.
Okay.
Most of them are also in our site inventory. There is 1 or 2 that were added by a municipality saying that we actually think this might be a really good project.
In addition to the ones that you had.
Yes, yep.
Right.
You ready?
Yep.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, 3-0 in favor.
Right.
And then do you want permission to sign any contract?
Will they be,
Yeah, that'll be my next response. And actually, I have to clarify one of the strategies. This might go down slightly.
okay,
I've been working with them on that
okay.
in terms of a cost. So do you want me
Sound of it?
But we really need to wait to give the authority till we see the
contract?
right?
Okay, so I'll come back.
I don't-
I'm okay if you give
Sure.
me permission to sign it.
All right, I move that we give the county administrator the ability to sign the contract proposed by the RFP submittal company, Fuss and O'Neill.
Seconded.
Well, the motion is made and all in favor of that?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. 3-0 in
Thank you.
favor.
Do you have the grant amount?
The grant amount was $150, $150,000, $140,000 of which will go towards the sewer and water feasibility and funding strategy. The remaining balance comes from our strategic plan reserve account, which we had included in past years to cover funding for this project.
Funds are already covered. Yeah.
Mhm.
that's fine. Thank you.
Excellent.
What's the name of the engineering firm?
Fuss and O'Neill?
SS?
Yes.
Wonderful.
They're based complete out of New England. They have an office in Kennebunkport, is the one in Maine. Great, thank you.
Let's see, Kent.
Nope. Haven't seen Ken.
Okay, I have a purchase authorization for Dell Computers. This is for our Registry of Deeds office. We're replacing their 2 desktop computers and 2 laptop computers. And then we will repurpose the desktops into the book room because those are older, more worn out versions of the same computer.
But still usable at this.
Yep, still usable
For public use.
for public use. Yep.
Cool.
Total amount is $3,033, and we purchased this under our Dell Premier account, which allows us special state funding. We historically purchased from Dell, and these were spec'd out by our IT vendor.
Move to approve the purchase authorization for replacement desktops and laptops for registry of deeds.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, 3-0 in favor.
Oh, it hadn't gotten this far down the agenda.
We even got the check.
Ooh,
Been holding it.
very exciting.
So I know that you're all aware of this, but
Whoa, easy on the.
to make it on the record,
We don't
Yeah.
usually get that.
at the Maine County Commissioners Association Annual Convention, the Risk Pool has awarded Lincoln County a $1,000 Safe Driving Award for 2024, and this is based on our auto claims and the number of miles driven, which includes our recycling trucks.
You were number one.
No.
Oh,
Well,
what would it take?
number
that
one
was-
got 5,000.
Or just a rebate.
Yeah, we got
It was-
5,000, we didn't get the 5,000.
It was
Yes.
Andrews Goggin, I believe, who
Did
was
they?
number one.
That's
still better-
impressive.
Yeah,
That's still better than we've ever done recently,
really.
in recent years.
So I think it's great that it's not just the sheriff's department, but it's also recycling.
It's EMA truck,
And the
Yep.
EMA, you know, the whole,
it's even the county maintenance staff with
Yeah.
the vehicle that they use.
and they're not backing into.
It's a lot of trips to
people
the
in
post
pocket
office.
Or something like that, yeah. So it's great to see some recognition of that and,
Yeah.
Onward and forward.
yeah.
Awesome.
So
next item.
do you
Accept
want
the
to,
check.
But we want to be in first place next time.
Yeah. You need a motion?
No, that was just recognition.
just recognizing it, would you like to move on to the DA's office items? I'm
Yes.
familiar with the three items that Kent was going to ask.
Yeah, get us started anyway.
So we have an employee named Ebriana Delana. She is our victim witness advocate. She primarily works with our younger victims and witnesses in the juvenile justice system. And she has submitted her resignation. Her last day will be October 9th, this Thursday. She's moving on to be a community navigator. So we will still see her in the county circle, but she's going to move on to a different organization. So I'd like you to formally accept the resignation.
I move to accept the resignation of Abriana Delana, victim witness advocate.
Second,
Moved and seconded, all in favor? Aye, 3-0 in favor.
Thank you.
do we only have the one victim witness advocate?
No, we
or
have
is it-
two positions.
Okay,
So our other VWA primarily works with adult victims and witnesses. So they have a split focus. They have crossover very frequently, but primarily that's where they focus their efforts. When we looked at the structure of the department a few months back, when our office supervisor left, we proposed a restructure of some of the positions. So the office supervisor position is now a paralegal position. It was a paralegal in the past. It's gone back to that. We've posted it, and that's still in the process. I was also involved with the deputy district attorney to work on the job description for the victim witness advocate, because there were duties in the office that were previously done by the office supervisor that now need to be done by somebody else. So we put together a draft job description for this VWA position to also make it an office coordinator. Yesterday I got the draft job description back with only one change, so that's incorporated into the draft that I have on your desk. We'd like you to accept that as the new job description for this position, and then it will likely result in a regrade by 1 grade. It'll still be within what is budgeted, but it's shifting those duties around, and the paralegal was regraded also when that happened.
and remind me, this is the DA's office is rather unique in that we manage the staff. But they're really supporting a state position and the DA.
Right.
Assistant DAs.
So our district
Yes.
attorney represents District 6, which is Saginaw, Lincoln, Knox, and Waldo counties. In each office, there's an assistant district attorney, or in our case, the deputy district attorney is here. And there's usually 2 or more in each office. And then there are county employees. The DA, the ADAs are all state employees. The county employees are the paralegals, the legal secretaries, the victim witness advocates, the people that are the support staff to the prosecutors in each office. Each county has a different makeup of what that staff looks like. Some have more than us, some have different positions. I know in one of the counties, they have a legal assistant position. It's similar to what we have, but different. So they address each office individually. In our office, we now have a paralegal, 2 legal secretaries, and 2 victim witness advocates. And they are the support for the prosecutors, and they help out with the sheriff's office when they bring in cases that need to be prosecuted. They're in court often, they're interacting with people that are going through the justice system.
I assume those positions or any of the positions are upon request of the district attorney. What the district attorney believes she needs for operating the office.
Yes.
And
Yes.
she's worked with you to deal with that.
Yep, so all of these changes were at the request of the office through the deputy district attorney.
Okay.
They've seen all of this, and he brought this down to me yesterday,
Great to see.
ready for it to be moved forward.
So we need to, for the record, approve
Yes.
this if we wish.
Yeah, I move that we approve the job description, the revised job description for the victims
Witness,
witness advocate position.
Seconded.
moved and seconded. There are no questions, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
3-0 in favor.
And the last item related to that is we would like permission to post this vacancy internally and externally.
Move to approve the posting of the victim witness advocate coordinator position.
Second.
Moved and seconded, all in favor? Aye,
Aye.
3-0 in favor.
Perfect. Thank
I,
you.
I guess I can't assume that, you said posted internally, has you heard anything of any potential person in-house being interested or?
We just had this conversation yesterday afternoon, so
Yeah.
it's too early in that process for me to know if there's anybody interested.
And do you know if the market is competitive for that position? It seems like it's really unique. Obviously with the counseling and social work background.
Yep.
It'd
yep.
be hard to fill. But
Each of our positions that are non-union have a grading process that we go through, and we evaluate things like education, experience, if there's any supervisory duties, what kind of technical knowledge is needed for the job, whether it's outside, inside, if it's a safe environment that they're working in, and so on. So each one has its own grade, and then we have a pay scale for all of those grades. Yep. We're frequently looking at that scale to make sure that we remain competitive in the
Right,
marketplace.
yeah. Cause it seems like there's a lack of people out there, so hopefully, we
The-
find somebody that is fitting for the position.
The paralegal position closes next week. And the last I looked last week, we had 2 internal and 3 external applicants.
Okay.
And they all had relevant experience. So that's a good sign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. And I think all that's left now is the old business. I don't,
Yeah.
I don't have an update on the LCTV proposal. I don't
Yeah,
know if you've received
Wondering,
anything.
should we still be carrying that on the agenda then? It's been quite a while now without any further updates. I guess we take it off, they can always come back and do another proposal, but I'm not sure if there's still interest or not.
I'm fine with taking it off the agenda until anything new comes up.
So do we do it as a motion to table or most just remove it or
I can just remove it.
just remove
Don't need
it?
a motion.
Public safety building project.
So we had a meeting last week with our consultants and we looked at the different properties. There's only really one property that's on the list that it checks all the boxes. I'm getting conflicting messages on whether or not the property owner is interested in selling or not selling. So we're working through that. And there's a couple other properties on the list that are not quite as good, that the consultants are gonna dig into the regulatory analysis a little bit deeper on their end. They were provided a lot of information from our planning office, and now they need to do it a little bit more on their ends.
So what they, and I don't know if they were hired to do this, but will they make a recommendation finally saying we recommend you go after this?
So what they're
Okay.
doing is telling us which ones are viable and which ones aren't, and then we need to decide which ones we want them to do overlay drawings on. The concern is whether or not the ones on our list are gonna be viable enough to do that. So Sheriff Brackett has suggested that we take a look at some more properties that are very nearby our #1 pick. And I'm hoping to hear back from him sometime this week on that. It's
So-
it's lost a little steam, but I think
Right,
it's,
and we're really, the crucial part is identify the location. Then you can start talking about what it will entail.
precisely.
You know,
Trying to build a footprint around an unknown parcel is not
it's difficult.
easy.
Okay.
So I'm hoping that we have another meeting next week. We picked a date and we're just trying to finalize that.
So it is active, but now it seems like before it seemed like there was big gaps over the summer or whatever, but now you're meeting.
Yep,
Weekly
we
or-
met last week
Super.
and picked some dates and understand that we need to speed this up, the timeline.
Yeah, and they probably have a finite contract too to finish by a certain point.
They have a finite dollar amount.
Oh, okay. Well, that usually means the end of it. Okay,
So next item,
So I'd like to suggest that we add a second executive session for real property.
I'll move to add a executive session discussion of real property to the agenda, 1 MRSA 4056C.
nice. Second the addition. To the agenda.
all in favor of that?
Aye.
Aye. 3-0.
Okay, and the first one is for personnel for 1 MRSA 4056A.
Okay, you have a motion to go into executive session.
Move to go into executive session for a discussion of personnel under 1 MRSA 4056A.
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, 3-0 in favor of that.
Thank you.
Did